In the heart of the great whispering forest, where tall pine trees stretched their branches to the sky and soft moss blanketed the ground like a green carpet, lived a little chipmunk named Pip. Pip was smaller than the other chipmunks and had fur as soft as the clouds. His eyes sparkled like dewdrops in the morning sun, but there was one thing about Pip that everyone knew. He was terribly, terribly afraid. If the wind blew too loudly, Pip would freeze in place. If a twig snapped nearby, his heart would leap out of his chest, and he'd dart for the nearest hiding hole. Even the shadows seemed to chase him. Look at Pip. Scared of the wind again, chirped Benny the blue jay, fluttering above. You hide so much, little Pip. We might as well call you hide-and-seek champion, laughed Molly the mole, popping out from her tunnel. Pip lowered his head, feeling smaller than ever. I wish I could be brave, he whispered to himself, like Leo the lion, or Bruno the bear, or even Roxy the fox. One sunny morning, after waking from a restless sleep full of scary dreams, I'm tired of being scared, he said to the quiet forest round him. Today, I will find the bravest animal in the forest. Maybe they can teach me how to be brave. With that, he packed a tiny satchel with some acorns and nuts, enough for a little snack on the way, and set off on his adventure. Chapter 1. Meeting Leo, the lion. Pip's little paws pattered softly on the forest floor as he followed a narrow path lined with wild flowers and ferns. Birds sang songs overhead, and butterflies danced around the trees. After a while, Pip came to a clearing. There, in the golden sunlight, lay the great Leo, king of the forest, the lion. Leo's golden mane shone like fire in the sun, and his deep roar could be heard miles away. But right now, Leo was napping, his massive chest rising and falling peacefully. Pip gulped. Maybe I'll just watch from a distance, he thought. But then, remembering his promise to himself, he scurried forward. Climbing up Leo's thick tail with trembling paws, Pip finally reached the lion's back. Excuse me, your majesty, Pip squeaked, trying to sound confident. Leo opened one eye, then the other. Well, little one, Leo said in a deep, rumbling voice, what brings you here? Pip swallowed his fear and said, I want to be brave like you, sir. I'm scared of everything, but I want to learn how to be brave. Leo chuckled softly. Bravery isn't about never feeling scared. It's about feeling scared, but doing what you must anyway. But how do I do that? Leo smiled. Come with me. Chapter 2. The Shadow in the Woods. Leo led Pip deep into the forest where the shadows grew long and the trees whispered secrets. Suddenly, a low growl echoed through the trees. Pip's heart pounded like a drum. From behind a large oak stepped Bruno, the bear, his fur dark and thick. Who goes there? Bruno growled. It's me, Leo, and this is Pip. Leo replied calmly. You're the little chipmunk who wants to be brave. Pip nodded, trembling. Bruno sat down heavily on a rock. Bravery comes in many shapes and sizes. Sometimes it's standing up to a bully, and sometimes it's facing your own fears. Before Pip could answer, a rustling came from the bushes. Pip jumped back, but Leo and Bruno stood firm. I heard there's a scared little chipmunk looking for courage, she said with a sly smile. Pip nodded again. I want to be brave. Roxy grinned. Because today, we're going to help you find it. Chapter 3. The Test of Courage. The three big animals led Pip to the edge of a dark part of the forest where the trees grew thick and the shadows deep. Beyond this is the Cave of Echoes, Leo said. Inside the cave is a mysterious treasure, but no one has dared to enter for many years. Pip's eyes grew wide. Treasure, yes, said Bruno, but it's not gold or jewels. It's something more valuable. Courage, Roxy nodded. If you can face the cave, Pip, you will have taken your first step toward bravery. Pip swallowed hard, then nodded. Pip shivered. What if something scary is inside? Remember what I said. Bravery means doing what's right, even when you're afraid. Pip took a deep breath and stepped into the cave. Inside, the cave was cool and dark. His little paws echoed softly on the rocky floor. He heard distant drips of water and the flutter of bats' wings. Suddenly, a shadow darted across the wall. Pip froze. "Who's there?" he called out, his voice shaky. A pair of glowing eyes blinked back at him. Pip wanted to run, but he remembered Leo's words. "I'm not afraid," Pip whispered, even though his heart pounded. From the darkness, a small bat swooped down and landed gently on Pip's shoulder. "Hello, little Chipmunk," the bat said softly. "You're brave to come here." Pip smiled. "I'm trying." The bat led Pip deeper into the cave until they found a shiny crystal glowing softly on a rock. "This is the treasure," the bat explained. "The crystal holds the courage of all who have faced their fears." Pip reached out and touched the crystal. Suddenly, he felt warmth spread through his chest. He smiled. "I think I'm ready now." Chapter 4: The Return and the Rescue. Pip hurried out of the cave, his little heart filled with a new kind of strength. Just then, a shout echoed from the forest. "Help! Help!" Leo's roar was loud but desperate. Pip raced toward the sound and saw Leo caught in a thick net, tangled and struggling. Hunters had set a trap. Without thinking, Pip ran to the net. Using his sharp little teeth, he began to gnaw at the ropes. Leo looked down at the tiny chipmunk. "Be careful," he warned. He chewed and chewed, ignoring the fear that still bubbled inside him. Suddenly, the rope snapped, and Leo was free. "Thank you, brave little Pip," Leo said, smiling down at him. Pip beamed. "I learned how to be brave." Chapter 5: A New Beginning. From that day on, Pip was no longer the scared little chipmunk. He still felt fear sometimes. Everyone did, but he knew that courage was about trying, even when you're scared. The animals of the great whispering forest cheered for Pip, the bravest little chipmunk of all. And Pip, he smiled every day, knowing that bravery lives inside us all, big or small.